A 32-year-old man, Ricardo Prada Vasquez, made a wrong turn while doing an Uber Eats delivery, ended up in Canada accidentally, tried to come back across the border, and ended up being deported to El Salvador without due process. According to the Detroit Free Press, Ricardo Prada Vasquez was a Venezuelan immigrant who was living in Michigan. He was delivering a McDonald's Uber Eats order back in January when he accidentally made a wrong turn and was forced onto a bridge that took him to Canada. Being that you're in Michigan, the bridge is literally one wrong turn and you're in another country. And when he tried to re-enter the United States of America, Border Patrol detained him and sent him to El Salvador. He is now in CCOT. He had no due process when he was detained. This story is about Ricardo, but it's not just about him. It's about due process. It's about the lack of due process that he faced, the lack of due process Kilmar Abrego Garcia faced, the lack of due process that every individual under the Alien Enemies Act faced. And well, now Vasquez is in CCOT, all because one wrong turn while making an Uber Eats delivery. Spread the word and follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Hey everyone, welcome to another video of a lash artist from Dallas, Texas who got deported after being in the US for 29 years. Everyone asks me how I'm doing, and honestly, I feel like it's a pain that's never going to go away. I have moved at least 3 times while being in Quintana Roo, and it sucks so much not knowing where home really is. I started my lash business, and of course, due to all the donations, I was able to buy a recliner, a light, a bunch of product, and due to a lot of people seeing my story across Instagram, I have been able to make it day by day and month by month. I have reached a couple of clients here on the island, and I'm so grateful for all of you guys' gifts. We have also started to sell gorditas from our home, and here is a couple of clips of us walking to the grocery store and getting a bunch of the stuff that we needed to just get everything started. Thank you to everyone who has donated. Thank you to everyone has sent prayers and support. I'm forever grateful. And I will have a lot of more videos for you guys of the day in the life here in Quintana Roo.
So after my wife got deported, I was an emotional mess because it was like I had my best friend with me. We had so much things that we had plans, you know, even just like for the weekend. We're so excited to just go out and have fun and hang out with friends and be us and grow our relationship and our connection. And after she got deported, all of that stopped. Once she got deported, you know, it wasn't just a simple like relationship how we had it. It turned more into a battle of trying to figure out how to get her back, and it was honestly exhausting because pretty much every avenue you go down with deportation, there's some kind of barrier, there's some kind of block. It's like there's a 10-year ban, and then to get the ban done, you have to pay like a lot of money just to even get it down, and you have to submit forms, and then after that form gets done, you have to submit another form and then another form, and then by the time you know it, it's like I realized then when I was in the army, I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to have my wife back here with me in the States for probably like 5, 7, 8 years. And once I realized that, like, it made the rest of the time in the military for me so much longer and so much harder, because I was like she's not coming back. It's so hard, like, to even afford that money, to get that money to do that, and also, you know, miss this person like tremendously. It was very difficult. It was very difficult to cope with that information. And then eventually, like, the more I looked into deportation and how to get my wife back, you know, like spouse, how to get her back to the States with me, after talking with my lawyer, and after filing all the paperwork, and like once you submit everything, it literally takes over a year for like any results. And once you get that back, you have to do more paperwork. And now, so we're on our second submission, second form, and this form, like, I guess takes 2 years to finish. Like 2 years, you know. So I'm gonna be away from my country, my home, like my family, for like 5 years because we have to wait for USCIS to approve our case. And on top of that, like, yeah, we're spending over $12,000, actually probably more, because there's other filing fees that you have to pay for. So I mean, it's ridiculous how much money and time goes into this because of deportation. And then on top of that, you want your family to be good and strong and happy, and then you're going through all this like bullshit that honestly like takes so much time away from your relationship. It's too much on families. Like, this whole fighting for your case and doing all this is too much. It's too much for us. It's too much for our families going through this. We just want to be in our country, have our family with us, and be good. And I'm with an amazing person. Like, she lived in the States for 10 years, yo. She graduated high school, she got jobs and everything, and then we have to sit and wait for somebody that doesn't even know us to say, like, we can go into the country I was raised in. Like, I served in the military. I put my life on the line for my country, and then they kick my wife out and then say I have to pay like $15,000 to have her back in. It's like, I'm pretty sure my soul knows who I want to be with for the rest of my life. I don't think I need to prove it through friggin' paperwork and years of waiting for and waiting for a result. It's ridiculous. The system and everything needs to change, yo. We're making the most of it. You know, we're in Guatemala. Guatemala is very, very beautiful, and we're so grateful for all of you guys supporting us as well. Deportation is hard, man. It's really, really difficult, and if you're going through any like deportation situation, you know, I feel you. I just hope things get better with this. But yeah, that's just it's a little part of deportation and what we've had to go through because of it, I guess.
A U.S. citizen born on an American military base was recently deported to Jamaica, a country he's never known. Jermaine Thomas was born in Germany to a U.S. citizen father, but after years of legal battles, he found out he wasn't considered an American citizen. The court ruled that being born on a military base abroad didn't grant him the rights of a U.S. citizen. After serving time for several crimes, Thomas was arrested in Texas and, following a minor trespassing charge, was handed over to ICE. Despite his protests, he was put on a plane to Jamaica, a place he had no legal connection to. Now, in Kingston, he's stateless, unable to work, get an ID, or find a place to belong, separated from his family, who fear being unable to return to the U.S. if they visit him. Thomas struggles daily to survive in a country that isn't his own, all while dreaming of returning to the life he once knew in America.
This was kind of cool. Kenyans.co.eu did a story on a caller I advised on an episode of the show in July of 2023. It was a Kenyan woman called in to speak to me about her sister who was deported from the United States after authorities discovered she was working here on a visitor's visa. And during my call with the woman's sister, she revealed she had been in the U.S. for 4 months on a tourist visa, leaving her children in Kenya. And upon her return from visiting her sons, the immigration officers at the airport, CBP, found a video of her working while she had been in America, leading to her deportation. What they told her was a 5-year ban from reentry. But I explained to her on the show that the 5-year ban is actually forever, not 5 years, because the deportation is a...
Imagine spending years building a life in a country, working, making friends, and creating plans for the future, only to have everything change in a single moment. Today we are looking at stories about deportation, separation, and difficult reality many people face when immigration decisions force them to leave behind the life they built. And what happens next is something that few people expect, and by the end of this video you'll understand why these stories have sparked such strong reactions online. But before we begin, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Do you think immigration systems around the world need major reforms? Let's get into it. So, for many immigrants, moving to a new country isn't just about finding a new place to live. It is about opportunity, it is about supporting family, it is also about building a future. And in many cases, people spend years establishing roots in their communities, but immigration laws can be incredibly complex. When legal issues, visa problems, and expired documentation, or even policy changes occur, some individuals find themselves facing deportation proceedings. The emotional impact can be enormous. Families can be separated, careers can disappear overnight, long term plans suddenly become uncertain. And that is exactly why stories like this capture so much attention. According to reports surrounding these cases, individuals at the center of these stories are forced to leave the United States after immigration authorities made their decisions. What makes situations like these difficult is that deportation doesn't simply end when someone boards a plane. In many ways, that's where another chapter begins. Returning to a country after years of being away can be challenging. People often discover that the place they once called home has changed dramatically. Job opportunities may be limited, support system may no longer exist, friends and family may have moved on, and adapting to a completely different reality can be emotionally exhausting. For many deported individuals, there is also a profound sense of loss, not just the loss of location, but the loss of a future they imagined for themselves or even for their families. The hardest part is often uncertainty. Questions like what is next? How do I start over? Will I ever return? And these are the questions that you don't even have answers to. And in these stories, the aftermath appears to have been particularly difficult, leading many viewers to describe it as heartbreaking, regardless of where people stand politically. Stories like these remind us that immigration debates involve real human lives. Behind policies and statistics are individuals trying to navigate circumstances that can be really overwhelming. This story is a reminder that life can change unexpectedly. Whether you agree or disagree with immigration policies, it is hard to ignore the human side of these situations. The challenges of deportation often continue long after the headlines fade away. What do you guys think? Should immigration systems place more emphasis on second chances, or rules should be enforced more strictly? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and kindly remember to keep it respectful. And if you want more breakdowns like this, hit the subscribe button to join our family. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.